creation guide for the Sorcerer in Baldur's Gate. Of all of the classes and all of the fluff of D&D, I love Sorcerers. They're like the mutant super beings of the D&D world. No matter whatever edition you're playing, they kind of have the same fluff, right? They're basically these beings that have natural powers that connect to them specifically without any practice or any studying or anything like that. That's like natural superpowers, kind of like the X-Men or metahumans. Yes, in the game, they can't learn new spells from scrolls, but they can learn them through experience, just like a real superhero. Yes, they don't have as many spells as a wizard, nor can they switch between different spells to try out new spells, but they get more castings of the spells that they have, so sorcerers, I think, are really freaking cool. Now, a warning, if you're interested in playing as them, is that if you've never played around with the arcane magic system in Baldur's Gate, I would play as a wizard first. You might find a spell that looks really cool, but ends up being a lot weaker or ineffectual than you had originally hoped. With a wizard, this isn't a problem, because you can just switch out the spell for another spell of that same level. With a sorcerer, there's no respecting your character outside of either cheating or restarting your game. So I would use a wizard to experiment with the different spells that you're interested in trying out, and then learn more about the game, and then use the sorcerer to focus on the key spells for the maximum success or fun. For alignment, just like wizards, sorcerers have no alignment restrictions or requirements. They can be any alignment that they want to be. For abilities, sorcerers are really kind of strange. They don't have any direct connections to their spellcasting, unlike the current edition of D&D, which is linked to charisma, which I think is kind of cool. This lets us set up our sorcerer any way we want for ability scores. What I usually like to do, obviously, is focus on survivability, so constitution and dexterity, and then I also like to build up charisma, because charisma you can be the face of the party, and you can get really good prices at stores, and generally get good rewards after you complete quests. And then after charisma, I focus on strength. Sorcerers actually don't need intelligence or wisdom, as they don't have an impact on spells or their casting. Still, if you have extra points, I don't think there's any harm in putting points into either intelligence or wisdom. It might bump up your lore score, or it might help you out with like casting Wish if you're interested in taking that as one of your spells. For weapon proficiencies, they have the same weapon proficiencies as wizards. So with a sorcerer, again, I recommend going with daggers, because then you have two different options. You can go quarterstaffs or you can go slings. Any of those options are fine. For spells, we have to select which spells that we're going to stick with for the rest of the game. These are kind of like, to use my analogy earlier, they're kind of like our superpowers. As mentioned, we're going to have more castings of our spells, but we're going to have far less flexibility with which spells we have. So we want to go with spells that scale well. Later on, we'll want to grab some defense or direct damage spells. But for now, we can either put spells into things like sleep or spook that can hit either groups with sleep or spook to hit an individual target. I'll also say that if you're playing the game for the story, feel free to think about the fluff for your character. If you really, really, really want your character, your sorcerer, to have shocking grasp because you want to reach out and touch somebody, you can do it. Now, I don't think it's a very good spell. I think it's very, very risky, but go ahead and do it. I would say just be careful about how you use such a spell, or go ahead and play on story mode. Story mode is a lot of fun, and you don't have to worry about dying. You can kind of just, play fluff-wise and enjoy yourself. You own the game, and have fun doing it. I'll be putting together a playthrough of the Sorcerer eventually, but until then, you can check out my other starter guides on Baldur's Gate, or you can check out my other playthroughs. That's it for this video. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. Thanks for watching, take care, and good luck. We're all counting on you.